I talk about secondary connections for lower extremity injuries a lot. Maybe a knee injury that led to a long-term hip or ankle condition. But can that same secondary relationship exist with an upper extremity condition, such as a shoulder injury causing maybe a long-term hand or wrist condition? Let's talk about it. I'm Dr. David Geier, triple board certified orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and anti-aging and regenerative medicine expert. I help veterans by writing Nexus letters that argue that your orthopedic injuries are connected to your military training and service so you can get the compensation you deserve. This is yet another video in a series of videos that I am making where I answer service connection questions that I get from military veterans across the country. And this one is a little different, not in the concept, but just in the specifics. I talk about secondary conditions a lot, but again, it's usually lower body, but can, in this case, a shoulder injury cause a hand or wrist injury? And I would say yes for the same idea, but there's a little sort of a nuance here. With secondary conditions, what you're showing is an alteration of the kinetic chain. You can't use one joint, in this case, the shoulder normally. Maybe the injury causes your arm. You basically have to leave it at your side for long periods of time, or it hurts, or it's weak, or it lacks motion. So you're having to abnormally use your hand and wrist more than you normally would. So that alteration in the kinetic chain, now there's more stress, more repetitive stress over a long period of time going to your wrist and hand. And what you would want to show is not just hand or wrist pain. It would be a degenerative condition over time, maybe a long-term tendonitis, maybe an osteoarthritis, something like that. But it absolutely can happen. We typically see this with the lower body because that's weight bearing, and that's where a lot of our injuries that happen in the military, or a lot of the military duties that place stress on the body, are lower back or lumbar spine or lower extremity. But the same process can happen with shoulder to wrist, shoulder to hand. The argument against it that sometimes C&P examiners will use is there's no evidence of cause or of cause and effect. And that is somewhat true. These studies show that just because you have, for instance, a rotator cuff tear, that doesn't necessarily cause tendonitis of the wrist necessarily. If that were the case, if you suffered a rotator cuff tear, or 100 people suffered a rotator cuff tear, 100 of them would develop that wrist tendonitis. Obviously, that's not the case. But by what studies do show is an increased association, and why. And again, a lot of it comes down to that alteration in the kinetic chain. There's a lot of nuance, and it's worth talking to your expert who's going to be writing the argument about the specifics of your case and what the records show to see if that case can be made. But yes, that can be argued. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the disability claims process, I have a free ebook you can get by clicking the link in the description below this video. The 8 most common reasons the VA denies service connection for disability claims and how you can beat them. You can get that just by clicking that link. I'm writing a new giveaway soon, so that one may not be there and it may be a new one. It'll be equally, if not more, helpful. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. Click the bell to be notified when I release a new video and when I start those Veteran Nexus Letter live shows in which I go into this a little bit more detail, especially about the specifics of your question. If you're interested in a Nexus letter or DBQ or whatever you need for your injury or condition, click that link in the description below this video. You can read more about working with me and working with my team. We try to make the process easy. We try to make it quick, and I try really hard to write Nexus letters that give you the best chance of success in your claim. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with you.